I never looked at any challenge as something that I couldn't be successful at.
This is a journey.
Let me take you on a journey.
Welcome to Her Journey, presented by Kudzukian Media Group. We believe Her Journey will encourage young women and help them see that life is a journey.
You have to continue to walk in your purpose.
We cannot control how other people respond to us.
As long as you have breath in your body, story does not end. Every day that God grants you, you have an opportunity to rewrite your story.
We believe Her Journey will encourage young women and help them see that life is a journey. Watch Her Journey, hosted by me, Joy Doss, brought to you by the Kudzukian Media Group and proudly sponsored by Nike, Black Community Commitment. Hello and welcome to another fabulous episode of Her Journey. I'm Joy Doss. I will be your host for the half hour. And today we have another phenomenal woman. She is one of the most successful women, as all of the women are in this series. She's one of the most successful women in Memphis, one of the what I call the big three in Memphis, especially in the marketing and comms game. She's represents the Mound. That would be 1 round, 3 down.
There you go.
In the Mound, she represents the Mound, Orange Mound, Tennessee, and and if you Google phenomenal woman plus Memphis, she's probably gonna come up first. She's also just the personification of lean in. I mean, I think if you Google lean in, she might come up too. Like if lean in was a person, it would be her. I'm going to go ahead and introduce Mrs. Beverly Cato Robertson.
Anybody that uses Cato has got to know me from years and years ago, and they know me from my wonderful neighborhood of Orange Mound.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for having me, Joy.
Glad
to be here.
Thank you. I finally stopped calling her Miss Beverly.
Thank
I was
you.
like, I guess if we work together, I should just call her Beverly.
That was good. That's good.
Yes. So, but I mean, it's hard not to call you Miss Beverly because there is really just that much respect for you. So I have quite a bit of respect. And again, she's one of the big three. There's 3 major Black marketing, communications, PR agencies here, Black owned here in Memphis, and yours is one of them.
Thank you.
Trust Marketing.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No, we appreciate you because you have paved the way for a lot. Because of them, we can. That's you.
Well, thank you. I am happy to even be have you express that on my behalf, because I have done over the years what I thought was the right thing to do. And part of that involved making a space and a place for other people. I often tell my husband, I don't need another pair of shoes, another house, another car. But what I do need is to be able to make a difference in the life of somebody who may otherwise not have an opportunity to have a good life.
And you don't know that you're making a difference, though, Beverly, sometimes, because people are watching, and whether they say something or not, whether they know you personally or not, you are an example. So you're an example probably more than you know.
Well, I value that feedback because I don't get a lot of it. And the truth of the matter is I don't do what I do for any cause because I think I'm going to get something back from it. I do it because it's important to me. This is my city. This is my community. And I love my people.
Yeah.
And I want to see us grow and prosper. And I want to be able to be a part of driving transformational change right here where I was born and where I've lived all of my life. And so that is vitally important to me. It's important to me to feed into you and anybody else who's willing to listen sometimes when I am very frivolous and crazy, which I am, but I'm also a very serious-minded person about the work that I do.
So let's rewind then. Take us back to the Mound.
Oh.
Little Beverly, over at Melrose.
Over at Melrose.
What was little Beverly like, and who were her influences outside of parents?
Oh my, I had lots of influencers. I was a talkative young lady. I know, you can't believe that, can you? I was very talkative. I was they say I was very smart, but I always applied myself. There was nothing that I could not do. So if there was a contest, whether it was a poetry contest or we had Arbor Day and we had to write a poem about trees, I would always be a winner. Mm-hmm. If I had to compete in the second grade to be able to be on the assembly and read a passage for the Bible, I would worry my mother to death. You got to practice me. You got to rehearse me. I got to know this by heart. So I've always been a pusher. Mm-hmm. You know, whatever it is I needed to do, I had to push forward. Mm-hmm. And so I gained a measure of confidence as a direct result of being able to do that in elementary school, to speak at my church, mm-hmm. to be able to get up and learn my Easter speech and say it with pride and enthusiasm and have everybody jump up and applaud. So I gained a sense of who I was mm-hmm. and what was truly possible. And as I progressed through my high school days, I will simply say to you, going to Melrose High School was the best experience that anyone could have had back in that day. And people talk about what we didn't have. Well, we didn't know what we didn't have. You know why? Because we had teachers that loved us. You did. I had teachers that would stand in the door and say, "Think, little people, think." Mm-hmm. And I had a teacher who stood on her desk and walked the desk. You gotta do it for yourself. Nobody's gonna do your thinking for you. You better think for yourself. She was a teacher. She had big, pretty legs. She stepped up on the desk. And boy, we were working on a project, but she wanted to be clear. Don't sit up here and not do your thinking. Oh, wow. Because you are not going to pass if you do. So I had teachers who were very unique. I had the secretary in the office who, if you were walking down the hall with a guy holding your hand, she said, she'd run up to you. Don't let that little boy touch you. Ooh. You deserve more than that. You are more precious than that. So don't let him talk to you and don't let him touch you.
Oh, wow.
So we were taught values, not just at home, not just at church, but our teachers imparted values in us. Barbara Doss, your mama, taught at Melrose. I mean, I had a cadre of teachers who led and whose example I have chosen to follow over the years.
I love that story about the teachers, especially now when people feel like teachers aren't always engaged. But I will say this. There are still many, many teachers who are still engaged, who still care. I've had my daughter, they pulled my daughter to the side. Mm-hmm. That little boy, watch it. They pulled her to the side.
That's
and this
great.
is at Crosstown, so I was like, no, I respect it.
That is great.
Like, I don't have any issue with that because you have eyes. Mm-hmm. They have eyes and ears in places that parents can't.
And discernment about spirits. Yes, they do.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
So before we go to a break, that just zipped past us. But before we go to a break, I have a question that I ask everybody on the show, and that is, when did you realize that your journey as a Black woman was going to be different? So we're going to let you think about that. We're going to let you marinate on it. And we're going to come right back with the fabulous, the marvelous, the Memphian, the super Memphian, Miss Beverly Kato Robertson. Stay tuned.